Alicia Gray is having a word with someone in the crowd, and now security is also involved.
Well, looks like that fan is being...
Sometimes it takes just one gesture to flip an entire narrative. In the middle of a tense playoff game, Alicia Gray turned to the Indiana Fever crowd, pointed her finger, and signaled for security. In that moment, it looked like something explosive had happened, something so serious the broadcast cut away instantly. Fans at home were left guessing, while fans in the arena watched in disbelief as people were escorted out. But the story didn't end there. Within hours, the truth started to leak out, and the incident unraveled faster than anyone expected. Instead of exposing fans, Gray exposed her own frustration. Instead of protecting her team, she gave them a new distraction. And all the while, Indiana was too busy making history on the scoreboard to even care about the sideshow.
It's clear to us the WNBA does not appreciate fans, don't want us there. We have been thrown out of games for a multitude of ridiculous things. We have watched these players complain and trash us all. They called half of us racist. They've called all types of stuff. All types of stuff. Now, without Caitlin Clark, the viewership has been cut in half by 50%. 50% for the playoffs. For the playoffs, y'all. And they still are getting fans thrown out of games.
It only takes one spark to ignite chaos, and Gray lit it herself. She had been struggling all game, unable to find rhythm, when she suddenly whipped around and pointed directly into the Fever's section. Security, eager to act quickly, rushed over and removed a couple from their seats. Nobody inside Gainbridge Fieldhouse understood why. The fans looked stunned, not guilty, and the whole section was buzzing with confusion. For a few minutes, the drama completely overshadowed the actual game. That was exactly what Atlanta wanted, to create a new storyline in the middle of a beatdown. But the problem with lies is they don't last long, and soon, cracks in Gray's version of events started showing everywhere. How do you know a story won't hold up? When it changes every single time someone repeats it. That's what happened here. One outlet claimed the fan had been heckling Gray with nasty remarks. Another insisted it was something deeply personal and offensive. But then eyewitness accounts started pouring in, and the truth was much less dramatic. Fans who were sitting right there swore the couple never insulted Gray at all. In fact, the words were directed at Lexi Hull. "You're good, Lex. She's not even trying anymore." That's it. Not vulgar, not threatening, just typical sports banter. Security eventually realized it too. The couple was brought back, even apologized to, and told to enjoy the rest of the game. If this had really been about safety, there's no way those fans return.
And let's get this account of the situation. The guy in the black hat yelled to Lexi, who was running to guard Gray, and said, quote, "You're good, Lex. She's not even trying anymore." Gray lost her shit and said some very nasty words to the guy and the people next to him. Because he said she's not even trying anymore. She can't handle that kind of heckling. Are you kidding me? Quit sports today.
When the cameras cut away, the league thought the story might fade. But when clips hit social media, it was game over. Fans dissected every frame of Gray's gesture. Commentators ridiculed the inconsistencies, and memes spread across Twitter and Instagram within hours. Instead of generating sympathy, Atlanta became a target for ridicule. People called it a desperate stunt to shift focus away from the scoreboard. Others compared it to earlier WNBA controversies where stories didn't quite add up. The phrase "fake drama" started trending. And just like that, the damage was permanent. Gray didn't just lose her cool, she lost the narrative.
The guy did not say anything out of line whatsoever. They were let back in shortly after. When asked what happened, he said that they said it was protocol to remove the fan to allow the player to calm down. I mean, all these players ought to be playing in bozo outfits. Gray had had a bad night, and there is no excuse for the things she said or the way she acted.
While Atlanta scrambled to explain itself, Indiana locked in on the only thing that mattered: winning. For the first time since 2016, Gainbridge Fieldhouse hosted a playoff game, and the atmosphere was electric. The Fever had lost Game 1. Clark was out for the season, and 5 rotation players were missing. By all logic, they should have folded under the pressure. Instead, they leaned into it. Red shirts filled the stands, chants echoed on every possession, and the building shook with anticipation. Stephanie White had challenged her team to play desperate, to fight for every rebound, every loose ball, every possession. And from the opening tip, it was clear. Indiana heard her.
WNBA players, you guys are not ready for the big lights. You're not ready for the big lights. You're not ready. I could look you in your eyes and see you're not ready. Y'all can't handle people showing up to games. Y'all can't handle people actually being an interested, invested fan.
Every game has a moment that defines it. This one came late in the third quarter, and it changed everything. Aaliyah Boston muscled her way inside for a bucket that set the tone. Seconds later, Shaw Petty jumped a passing lane and ripped away a steal, sending the crowd into a frenzy. And then, with the clock winding down, Lexi Hull launched a deep 3 at the buzzer. When it dropped, Gainbridge exploded. In just 30 seconds, Indiana flipped the game on its head. Atlanta looked defeated, shoulders sagging, while the Fever fed off the noise like a team possessed. That one sequence didn't just extend the lead, it broke Atlanta's spirit. In games like these, stars have to shine, and Indiana's did exactly that. Kelsey Mitchell was lethal, drilling 4 3-pointers and finishing with 19 points that punished every defensive mistake Atlanta made. Aaliyah Boston was steady and powerful, putting up 15 points while controlling the paint against double teams. Natasha Howard didn't grab headlines, but her defense and hustle changed the flow of possessions. Lexi Hull, fresh off her buzzer beater, hounded Alicia Gray all night and dove for every loose ball. Even rookie Michaela Timpson chipped in 9 points, playing with the kind of poise you rarely see from a first-year player in the postseason. Every Fever player had a role, and every role mattered. If you want proof that Indiana was locked in, just look at the scoreboard. Atlanta managed only 60 points. The Fever held them under 38% shooting, and Gray, alongside Ryan Howard, combined for just 19 points, far below their usual output. Every possession was contested. Every shot was pressured. Indiana didn't just beat Atlanta, they suffocated them. It was the kind of defensive effort that sends a message to the entire league. Short-handed? Sure. Vulnerable? Not a chance. Indiana showed that when they commit as a unit, even the most talented opponents crumble. The final buzzer didn't just signal a win, it unleashed a wave of emotion. For the first time in nearly a decade, the Fever had a playoff victory. Fans stayed on their feet long after the game ended, soaking in a moment they'd been waiting years to feel. The players embraced, Coach White smiled through tears, and Caitlin Clark, though sidelined, stood cheering with every stop. What was supposed to be a season defined by injuries had become a night that restored hope. The Fever weren't just surviving, they were thriving. Of course, the story doesn't end here. With the series tied, everything now shifts to Atlanta for a winner-takes-all Game 3. The Dream will come out angry, desperate to erase the embarrassment. But Indiana has the blueprint. Defend like their season depends on it, hit timely shots, and play with the same unity that carried them through Game 2. Mitchell has to stay hot, Boston has to stay disciplined, and role players like Hull and Timpson must rise again. The Dream may have the home crowd, but the Fever have something even more powerful: belief. The Alicia Gray controversy was supposed to dominate the headlines. Instead, it became nothing more than a footnote. What fans will remember isn't a finger point. It's the roar of Gainbridge, the grit of a shorthanded team, and the scoreboard that told the real story. Indiana proved they could win without Caitlin Clark. And that changes everything. Because if they can dominate shorthanded, imagine what they'll be next season at full strength. The league just got its warning shot. One night, 2 stories. Atlanta tried to spin chaos in the stands, but Indiana spun history on the court. Alicia Gray's gesture might fade, but the Fever's resilience will be etched in memory. This was more than a playoff win. It was a transformation. A reminder that in basketball, excuses don't matter. The scoreboard does. And Indiana just made sure everyone in the WNBA knows exactly where they stand.